Hello friends, my name is Lalit Singh Mehta and today we are going to see the assumptions used in the torsion equation. So the torsion equation or the torsion formula is T by J is equal to G theta by L is equal to tau by R. So before deriving this equation, so there are some assumptions which are being used for deriving this equation. So let us understand those assumptions. So this is the shaft with some length L and it is having a diameter D. So the first assumption which has been assumed in deriving this equation in torsion equation or torsion formula is, you can easily understand this, that the material of which the shaft is being made is uniform throughout. Correct? Shaft material is uniform throughout the length. So this actually in practical aspect this can't be true because material cannot be uniform throughout its length. Some impurities might be there. Suppose it is 0.5% or 1%, but some impurities might be there. But before deriving this equation or torsion equation, it is assumed that shaft material is uniform throughout the length. Means the shaft material is made up of the same material from here up till free and whole length, which cannot be the case. So this is the first assumption. You can easily see. The second is, as we can see, for deriving this there is a force. So this force is being applied here, correct? This is a shaft fixed at one end and some force is being applied here. So due to this application of this force, you can see the diameter, the D will be changing, correct? If I apply some twisting here, so diameter will be changing from here to here. Here it will be maximum and up till end it will be less. The quantity will be less, means the quantity by which the diameter is changing might be less, but there might be some change in the diameter. It cannot be same. So second assumption is diameter remains same after twist. Means there is no change in diameter, which cannot be the case. As you can easily see, if I give some force here, twisting moment here, so diameter throughout the length should change. It should change, but second assumption is diameter remains the same after twisting also. So this is the second assumption. Third, as we can see, this, because of this force or this twisting moment, theta is being induced, correct? We twist by means of theta. Theta is angle of twist. Suppose this is the angle, suppose the material was here and then it is being twisted. So it changed, correct? It changed its position. Here you can see easily. Suppose earlier the material was here, now because of twisting it is A dash. So this is theta. So it is being observed or it is being assumed in this equation about this theta that theta angle of twist is uniform. So this is the third assumption, which cannot be the case. As we can see, if I apply some force at this end, so theta will be maximum at this end, and when it goes up till the end, up till the fixed end, it comes up till this theta. When it shifts from here to here, there will be a decrease in theta. That means the magnitude of theta will be lesser in effect when it reaches here, because when we apply, the point of application will have the maximum twist, and when it goes to the extreme end or the fixed end, the magnitude becomes less, but it is being assumed that theta remains uniform throughout, which cannot be the case. And the fourth one is, as we all know, the cross section is circular and plane, correct, before twisting, but after twisting the circular section, the section will not be plane and circular. So the fourth assumption is section is plane and circular after twisting. So this is the fourth assumption. So this torsion equation is being derived by taking into account all these assumptions. So this assumptions plays a very important role in deriving the torsion equation. So hope you got an idea about all the assumptions used in the torsion equation. Thank you for watching.